Hello, my fellow readers. This is I, Dark Symphony 777, with another fan fiction reading. As always, a link to store. Wait, let me just. As always, a link to the store will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts on the story and any future fan fictions you want me to read or review. So, we got an intervention by Hallow Wog Fan 2000. It's a Luigi's fan. It's a Luigi's Mansion fan fiction, specifically Luigi's Mansion 3. And there's a second chapter? Wait, what? Um, okay. I was not aware. There was there's another chapter added? Hmm. Uh, I learned the roll with the punches. Oh, if you notice this, I actually had to get a screen recorder because for some reason Power Director in this version does not come automatic with screen recorder. No, they locked it behind a paywall. What the fine BS? Because screen recorders are basic enough that you should not lock them behind paywalls. It's my opinion. And I was lucky to find this thing called Hippo, allowing me to have an actual screen recorder. I didn't need any. I just needed the screen recorder. So let's get started. Let's see what the synopsis says. Clem, we need to talk about the ducks. So let's get started. Okay. Here's like a little in. Okay. Clem was floating towards the staff break room. Stuart, having called for a staff meeting, he found it strange since they only held these meetings later in the day. And it was morning right now. Must be an emergency. When he entered the break room, however, he realized that this was no ordinary staff meeting. All his coworkers were seated in a semicircle, and they were all staring at him. Some of them were giving him a look of barely restrained rage. Others just looked disappointed at him. Sitting in the center of the semicircle was the gardener of the seventh floor, the botanist Dr. Potter. Cleared his throat and began to speak to him. Sit down, sonny. We need to have a talk. He pointed at the chair in front of him, gesturing Clem to sit down. The mechanic complied, still wondering what this was about. Did I did I do something wrong? Oh, I think you know exactly what you've done. The pianist, Amadeus Wolfgeist, said with barely restrained anger, which only grew when Clem simply scratched his head in confusion. Dr. Potter intervened to make sure things didn't escalate too far. Clem, we need to talk about the ducks. What ducks? Oh, the ducks. I already read this chapter before, so I kind of know what's gonna happen. I just love this line. What ducks? All the ducks. All the ducks. It finally dawned on Clem what the others were mad about. Ooh, those ducks. What about them? Ruler and Ugg had a hold Amadeus from rushing at Clem and strangling him to second death. Once they managed to calm him down, Potter resumed. Look, Sonny, we all think you have a problem. You've been finding your ducks everywhere in the hotel. Yesterday, I found all my fertilizer bags full of them. While I appreciate the gesture, the others aren't. The others aren't as happy about it. Your fertilizer bags were full of ducks. Quack quack. Quack 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 quack. So how are you appreciating the gesture of having your fertilizer bags full of ducks? These are the questions I'm asking. I know I'm being sarcastic and patting out the story. Saying, don't question. It's a ghost. Don't question it. I want to question the logic. Hey, we're supposed to be mad at him. Gloria, the DJ of the DJ of the 14th floor, said in the confused tone. I thought we were thinking him. Dance hall had little boogers everywhere. She pulled out an example of the rubber ducks in the dance hall, which was wearing a miniature version of her wig. They all got these cute little wigs on them. I love them all so much. Of course, the DJ would be happy about them. Well, you might like them, but for some of us, it's starting to get really annoying. Stuart, the Bell Hot Spots reception of the hotel, pointed out, everywhere I go, I keep finding them. I go to pick up someone's luggage. Boom, duck underneath. I open up the doors in the reception deck. Boom, ducked. I take off my hat. Boom, duck. Really get it. Wait, how does he do that one? Does he like spawn it? It's like, come on, take off the hat. Take off the hat. Wait, what's on my head? Duck! It's getting really disturbing. Not to mention that the guests are finding him too temporary, the maid pointing out as well. I even found them inside of my hair. How are you doing that? Clem simply chuckled, rubbing his hand on his chest. That's a magician's secret. Telling you would ruin the fun. Curler decided to add his own 2 cents to the conversation. No offense, buddy, but you're also replacing some valuable stuff with those things. Every time I go to check out the lost and found, I keep finding ducks where the found stuff should be. Where are you hiding all of it? Not to mention you keep selling the actual ducks in my kitchen. Did me or the author forget to mention it's rubber ducks, not actual ducks. Rubber ducks. Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time so much fun. No idea. Uh, the chef souffle threatened Clem with his pan. What kind of your duck museum? Those ducks. I think I ate them. Let me tell you. I think they taste better raw than they do when you cook them. That's just my opinion. Uh, Before the chef could attack him, Wolfguy cleared his throat, calling everyone's attention. Before the chef, and most importantly, I tear you apart to pieces like an artist does with terrible musical compositions. I would like to think we all want to air our grievances with you. The rest of the staff nodded in agreement, cueing Wolf's to continue. Good. Let me explain my situation. You see, I was preparing to practice my latest performance in the auditorium. I suddenly noticed that every single chair has a duck sitting on it. Normally, I would be angry, but they were all appropriately dressed for the occasion, so I decided to let it slide. But then I tried to play my piano. What do I find? But the entire thing stopped with ducks to the brim! He calmed himself down after the last puff, patting his hair back into its neatly combed state. Anyone else want to air their grievances? King McFranks, owner of the Castle McFranks, plopped down a covered blanket in front of him. So I wake up with a beautiful morning. I go to my armory practice my sword fighting. And what do I see when I open the thing? Ducks! And what do I not see? My swords! He pulled the blanket off the basket, revealing several destroyed rubber ducks. Clem gasped in horror, clutching his hat to his chest as McBride scolded him. Return my swords immediately! I'll do it to you what I did to my duck. I mean, if you want to deal with the duck problem, just send McBride after him. Just send him with his horse. That you know what? Let's just pop all the ducks. Uh, Before you do that, why don't I tell my part? Morty tried to de-escalate the situation by telling his own story. You see, I was entering my studio, so I could work on one on so I could work on one. Get rid of that one. Bringing one of my latest visions into reality. I enter one of my seats to have the group prepared, and I find that every square inch of it has been covered in an utterly improbable amount of ducks. I've been forced to delay the entire event until my crew can finish cleaning everything up. Og have bigger problems than cameraman. Og became an interrupted. Og wake up to go fight scary bone lizard again. And Og find duckies everywhere on floor. Og even find in bony lizard. Og scared for duckies. Og kill bony lizards. It's actually funny to imagine. He's like, Ug's like walking up into the museum. It's like, why all rubber duckies? Sees rubber duckies in the, and then there's we'll save rubber duckies. Let's see. Everyone stared at Cersei, who realized it was her turn and cleared her throat. I was preparing myself to train my powers this morning. When I leave my room, I find that all the sand has been replaced by ducks. I'm not mad at it about it. It's just a chore just getting rid of them. So I would like it if you stopped doing that. You think you guys have problems, Lindsay? Oh, here comes my favorite part of the story of this chapter. I guess Lindsay, the magician triplet with the ponytail. Our room is cluttered with those stupid things. Yeah, we were practicing our magic, and suddenly ducks started pouring out of Ginny's hat. Nikki, the triplet with pigtails and no bangs added. It was then that Clem noticed something about the trip. Wait a minute. Oh, there's supposed to be three of ya. Except Ginny is now missing in a room full of ducks. We've been digging through the pile for an hour, and we still haven't found her yet. Ginny was sitting in what looked like a cavern made of rubber ducks. Her only source of light being a flashlight she managed to find in the blood of a ducks. Mickey, Lindsay, you guys are still looking for me, right? She's got no response. Sighing, she started to look around, spotting a particular duck with a top hat on it. She pulled out and stared at it for a few seconds. I'm gonna call you Archibald. Pretty sure that is an SMG4 reference to Tari. Because I'm pretty sure her duck? Yeah, I'm pretty sure her duck is named Archibald. I'm pretty sure. Um, so I wake up in my bed. I noticed there'd be no light coming from the surface, and I'd be thinking, I must have woken up before the lights turned on. And I swim up to the surface. I find that there be ducks floating everywhere, and they're blocking all the light. I ended up oversleeping because of those things. Bishop, the pirate captain, owner of the spectral cat, told a story, taking a sip of his coffee as he gestured at Johnny to give a story. Dude, you took all the waste of my barbells and replaced them with rubber ducks. I can't live with waste with those things. I don't keep up my weightlifting regimen, and I start losing muscle definition. It's not cool, bro. Point is, Sonny, you spreading around your rubber ducks around the hotel is starting to cause a lot of problems for us. We would all appreciate if you stopped doing that. Keep all the ducks you want. But we can't have you doing those things again. Can you promise us that? Potter asked Clem, who scratched his head in thought, before sighing and conceding to demands. All right. I'll stop doing it, but y'all have to agree. We gotta do these interventions for everyone. Since there's a second chapter, I'm gonna assume that's gonna happen. Especially pertaining to a certain somebody who keeps playing his bagpipes at 3 a.m. All right, who plays the bagpipes at 3 in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m. You stole my swords and trapped a child in a room full of ducks. There's way more important than me playing music in the morning. He's got a point. He floated towards Clem, grabbing him by his collar, and started to drag the mechanic to the elevator. The remaining two triplets not far behind. The remaining staff members started to leave as well, but not before Amadeus gestured at Potter to stay behind for the moment. I hope your hope on the mechanic is not misplaced, Doctor. If you end up finding my piano stuffed to those things, however, they will hunt them down and kill him. So I don't have much hope for Clem. Chances are he's gonna do it again in a few months. Just make sure to lock up your piano every night. At least you can stop him that way. He would once again flood the entire hotel with ducks 6 months later, proving once and for all, that no amount of counseling can control what a ghost does with his duck. Like the ending, it's like it didn't work. Um, should I? Yeah, I'll do it. That's you, chapter 2. Oh, Stuart and the bellhop. Okay. Stewie, can we ask you a question? Stuart looked up from the break room fridge, finding that his coworkers were staring at him with looks of disappointment. Cruller and Cambria were at the table, Sirty and Gloria floating next to one of the coffee pots, and Fishhook and Clem both leaning against the walls, all with mugs in hand / fin. Stuart gulped before looking at Cruller. Sure. Wait. I was expecting like little extra joke chapter with like them trying to find Ginny. Come on, I want to see the triplets. Can we get a story about the triplets? I know sooner or later we're gonna get like a chapter for the triplets, but sure. What is it? When was the la- when was the last time you slept? Stuart stared at Cruller with a neutral expression on his face. An awkward silence fell on the break room, occasionally interrupted by Fishhook and Gloria taking a sip of their coffee. The silence was still going. I don't understand the question. This elicited groans from everyone in the break room. Stuart, on his part, stared incredulously at everyone, wondering why any of this was a problem. Seriously, what's the problem? We're dead. We don't need to sleep anymore. That might this that might be true, Stuart, but we all have our limits. Chambria tried to explain to the bellhop ghost. We can still end up pushing ourselves too hard. Why do you think Miss Helen set up a curfew for us for all of us back when she was in charge? Because a certain someone, Stuart glared at Gloria, who was currently pouring herself a second cup of coffee, or third, who knows, decided it was a grand idea to have a dance party for 2 weeks straight. The disc jockey glared at the bellhop in response to this claim. Besides, when Miss Gravely found out I was skipping curfew to work overtime, she gave me $1 raise. She clearly recognizes a good worker when she sees one. He puffed out his chest in pride, ignoring the stares of incredulous from the other ghosts. Wait, if the ghosts are getting paid, what are they using the money for? Don't they live at the hotel? Like, they all live there, I'm guessing, for free? I mean, they're undead. What are they gonna do with the money? I'm asking questions I'm not gonna get answers for. I don't know why. Cersei put aside her cup of coffee, signaling Gloria to give it a refill while she clapped her hands together and gave a response to Stuart's claim. First of all, Stuart, I think Helen was taking advantage of you in regards to your disregard for curfew. Stuart glared at her in response. She simply ignored it as she continued. Second of all, while we all truly appreciate all the hard work you put into helping us out in our day-to-day lives and make everyone stay at the hotels the most wonderful experience imaginable, there comes a point where all of us begin to worry about your own personal health. A good worker is one who is able to balance his personal life and work in such a way that they are still able to live comfortably without having to break their back helping others. Stuart stared at Subsea as if she grew a second head, clearly very confused by what she just said. That makes no sense. Aren't you from ancient times? I mean, she is a pharaoh. Didn't workers back then slave away hours on end to build your pyramids? I deeply respect those guys, by the way. I most certainly did not make my workers do that. What in the name of the gods would make you think that? The glare Serpently gave was withering. You're an Egyptian pharaoh, and pharaohs had like a really bad habit of doing that? They did. Answer me. They're the ones who did it. I say that. Causing Stuart to flinch and shrink into himself in fear. The queen realized what she was doing and quickly worked at regaining her composure. She was not Wolfgeist. She was a queen. I gave my workers plenty of time off, reasonable work hours, and organized trivia nights for them. Ocean, ferocious sakes, Captain Fishhook shouted, startling the others. We've been at this for 5 minutes. He turned towards Stuart and glared at him, spooking the bear hop. Look, laddie, we all appreciate your hard work and all, but if you don't take a break right now, I'll take care of the problem myself. Make sure you don't wake up till next month. Okay, now calm down, Fishhook. Clem intervened. I think I know what his problem is. He thinks that sleeping is going to make him less good at his job. Let me tell you, you were wrong on that part. I sleep all the time, and I'm still a dang good mechanic. Ta-da. The others gave the mechanic a simple stare of disbelief as Gloria reached out to the break room sink and turned the valve. Instead of water coming out, the faucet simply made a nasty rattling noise for a few seconds until a rubber duck. Oh, that's actually funny. That's actually pretty funny. Bravo, author. That's funny. Um, can I ask for like a running gag, like every chapter to have a duck just show up? I mean, you did it twice. Uh, this is actually pretty funny. It's just Just you turn on the faucet, here comes rubber ducky. That's pretty funny. And fell into the sink with a squeak. Still no water. Slim, for his part, simply took a sip of his coffee. Okay, I'm not the best example, but you gotta admit I'm right. And the point is, Stuart, we're all worried for your personal health, and we would appreciate it if, instead of working, you took the day off for yourself while we deal with everything ourselves. You won't get fired. Nothing is going to catch fire, and the universe won't implode. The ghostly maid reassured the bellhop. I don't. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, then do it for me. Do it for us. Kruller added as well. The ghostly bellhop stared as everyone in the room, including Fishhook, smiled at him. That's actually a creepy image, like a ghost shark just smiling. Creepy. They clearly cared about him and wanted the best for him. Wow, that is that is very nice for all of you to say. I don't know. I didn't know you guys appreciated me so much. Everyone's smile grew wider, hopeful that he has finally come around. But I'm not doing it. Except no, he didn't. I promised myself when I died that from now on I would never ever take a moment's rest until everyone is 100% satisfied with my work. Until that day comes, and for as long as I remain in this plane of existence, I will never, ever take a single break ever. I should say a single break. Never! He puffed his chest out in pride, either ignoring or not noticing the disappointment from everyone in the room. Oh well, we tried at least. Cersei shrugged her shoulders as she grabbed a cup of coffee, filled it up with the next pot to her, and handed it over to Stuart. At least have some coffee before you go. It's a special brew I used to make back when I was alive. It's especially delicious for ghosts. I thank you. Stuart drank from the cup. He was surprised at the lack of bitterness that was usually found in coffee. Oh, this is good. What are you? He tried to say, only to lose consciousness and fall down to the floor. When the other ghost casually floated over to inspect them, they found him snoring away peacefully. Fun. I can't believe we had to actually do that. I feel bad now. Kruller molds himself. How else would someone feel when drugging their boyfriend anyway? Wait, what? Kruller like Stewart. Let me finish this chapter and I'll talk about that. Anyway, Cersei simply put a hand on his shoulder to reassure him. We all knew it was going to come down to this. He's remarkably stubborn. At least now he won't be waking up till tomorrow. Cambria singled Kruller to help her lift the bellhop. With Stuart in their arms, they headed toward the Rip Suites to look for a room to put him in so he could, for once in his life, sleep. The rest remained in the break room. After a few seconds of scratching his head, Clem turned toward the two women, asking him something that had been perplexing him throughout the whole intervention. Hey, weren't you two drinking from that pot? How on earth aren't you two unconscious like him? I was a queen, Clem. Assassinations via poisoning was quite common. I put an effort into making sure I was immune to all kinds of poisons and sedatives, this one included. But what's your excuse? Oh, what's your excuse? Fishhook asked Gloria. I don't know. What's your excuse, Fishhook? Weren't you drinking coffee too? I'm a living dynamo, baby. I got so much energy in me, I can down the entire pot and still stay awake for the next week. A moment of silence overcame the room as everyone stared at Gloria. She broke the silence with a challenge. Want to see if I'm right? I got 20 and y'all don't make it halfway. And I'll say she passes out when she finishes. Really, you two, betting on my beloved on whether she can survive such a potent brew with such small bets? You insult me. I bet 100 in that she doesn't pass out and drinks it all in one go. I love you so much. Gloria grabbed the pot and started drinking it, getting a chug, chug, chug from the other three. Stuart got a full day of sleep and has learned the wonders of having a proper sleep schedule. Gloria passed out 2 days later and slept for an entire week. Cersei lost $140 that day to the delight of Fishhook and Clem and to her own dissatisfaction. Um, yeah, so I like both chapters. I like if they're gonna continue it. There's probably gonna be a running gag of the ducks just showing up, just somewhere inconvenient. What I didn't like was the whole Kruller Stewart thing. For one thing, that came out of nowhere. Two, absolutely does not need to be in the story. I think it would just make sense. Just get rid of this sentence. Get rid of the sentence, or at least replace it or something else. Because not every, I say this. I haven't said this in a while, but I say that whenever it comes off. Not every single story needs to have romance or romantic element. This story did not need this sentence. It really didn't. Um, and even then, there's possibly like Cersei and the DJ Phantasmagoria like each other that way. That needs to go too. It both needs to go. But other than that, I really and other than those two sentences and like the three grammar errors I saw, like I saw nothing wrong with the story. I like the idea of literally like all of like literally all of the ghosts getting interventions. I wonder who's going to be next. It's not going to be the DJ. She's probably going to be passed out at the time. If I had to take a guess, it would have to be. There's 13 ghosts left. Did you did Clem and you did Stewart? Um, if I had to pick, I would have to say Johnny or Johnny Waterend. I'm guessing it's either going to be Johnny Waterend or King McBride. So let's at least do the bagpipes. My favorite part so far is it's literally just the nod to SMG4. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure it's a nod, but since the duck is named Archibald and it has a top hat, I know for a fact Katari's rubber ducky. Um, you know what? Let me look. Let me. I okay. Tari's duck. Okay, Tari's duck. Uh, let's see. She. I want to see what she's. Does she have a duck? Okay. Hey, guess it's Tari. That's. I know. I know. Um. Yes, rubber duckies. Let's see. No. I don't know what the duckie's name. Oh. Okay. It's let's find out together. Let's just take a quick. Um. Oh no, it's Quackington. Oh no, it is Archibald. Aha! Aha! There is a rubber ducky named Archibald. I knew it. I knew it. I have proof. That whole scene with Ginny was based as a reference to Tari. Was um. So yeah, but that's out of the way. I was just curious to see if that was actually true. What do I think of this story? I think it's actually really good. I'm not sure if the author is going to continue this because I'm pretty sure because I seriously wasn't expecting a second chapter because of the synopsis just basically just says Clem. If you're going to continue the story, I would like if you had to change anything, I would change the synopsis. Just get rid of this and say something like all the ghosts have all the ghosts of the Last Resort Hotel all have their quirks, but they all have their problems. Time for an intervention, or something like that. The synopsis needs to at least change because with this, it's just referencing the first chapter because it's literally just a line from the first chapter. And but as it stands right now, these two chapters, if there's going to be more chapters, you know what? You know what? Yep. Let's see. Follow story. Just in case I find out there's more chapters. because I probably, if anything, this is probably like the only, one and only story that I'm going to like review, do a reading of every single chapter. Yeah, every single chapter. Mainly because I seriously wasn't expecting to be a second chapter. But if I had to rate this from 1 to 5, I would actually give it like from these two chapters alone, I'd probably give it a 4. Because I like the idea of like all of those having like these quirks that need interventions, and it being solved in very and kind of hilarious way, and Cersei kind of being the teen mom. I kind of like that. I still wish I wish sooner or later we'll get like a singular story just based on the triplets because I really love the triplets. I haven't played Luigi's Mansion, but I've seen like tons of gameplay footage of it. And out of all the ghosts that were interests, I really love the triplets are my favorite from a design standpoint. I don't know something about like the little girls in Luigi's Mansion series always seem to get like the most popular. I don't know why because like the most popular ghost in the first game is Melody, and she's a girl. She's like a little girl. And then in this story, like the most popular are like the triplets and Morty. But that's beside the point. So this is an intervention, probably not the end of it, by Tao Tawog Fan 2000. This has been Dark Symphony 777, and cut. Let's see if I can. Okay.